Dwayne's eyes snap back into focus, the urgency of the situation reigniting the room's tense atmosphere. Aaron, I need you to handle the de-escalation with Jonas and make sure everything there stays contained. I'll handle this, Dwayne orders, his voice sharp and precise. Aaron nods, already moving toward the console to coordinate with the field teams managing Jonas. Got it. And don't forget to update Emily, he reminds, his voice steady despite the storm of emotions in the room. Dwayne's eyes sharpen as he turns toward Jesse. Jesse, I need you to find out exactly where Rachel is and ensure her travel is arranged without any issues, he orders, the weight of urgency pressing on every word. And one more thing. Let Celeste know she contacted the wrong sister. We need her to be aware of this oversight. Jesse nods, the seriousness of the situation reflected in his focused expression. On it, he says, already moving toward the workstation to begin tracing Rachel's location and coordinating the logistics. Dwayne's jaw clenches as he refocuses on the screen in front of him. Time slips away, and every second counts. Dwayne turns his attention to the McBride case, his mind racing as he pieces together the timeline. Every second matters now. He needs to find Roshell, stop her from carrying out her mission, and reassess everything they thought they knew about the remaining operatives. The stakes climb higher, and there is no room for error. Dwayne's voice cuts through the room like a commanding wave, drawing every eye back to him. Okay, team, we're not done yet. We're back on the McBride case, he says, urgency bristling in his tone. He turns to the main screen. Deuce, give us the details again, please. Deuce's synthetic voice responds without hesitation, its digital cadence resonating in the control room. Case profile, Renee McBride, Dearborn Heights, Michigan. Incident date, November 2nd, 2013. The victim was a 19-year-old black woman who sought help after a car accident. She approached the home of Thomas Wafer in the early hours of the morning. The homeowner, startled, discharged his firearm through the locked screen door, resulting in McBride's death. The room falls silent as Deuce continues. Verdict: Wafer was charged with second-degree murder and manslaughter, convicted and sentenced to 17 years in prison. Dwayne's eyes scan the room, locking onto the operatives who stand ready. The tension is palpable, each agent understanding that this is more than just another mission. It is a race to prevent another fatal mistake. He sits at the helm of the control room, eyes scanning the rapidly shifting data on the screens as his mind replays the last chaotic hours. The hostage situation drains him, both mentally and emotionally. The sharp edge of adrenaline still courses through him, a reminder of how close things came to spiraling out of control. Yet there is no time for reflection, no space to acknowledge the gnawing fatigue pressing down on him like a heavy weight. His body aches with exhaustion, a deep, bone-weary fatigue that makes him feel as if he hasn't slept in days. The constant pressure of leading a team, making split-second decisions, and keeping track of operatives who blur the lines between ally and threat takes its toll. Frustration bubbles beneath the surface, threatening to crack his stoic exterior. The McBride case, which seemed closed just minutes ago, is now wide open again, a stark reminder that certainty is a luxury he cannot afford. Despite it all, Dwayne's focus remains razor-sharp. Determination burns in his eyes as he mentally pushes aside the weariness, locking it away in a corner of his mind for later. If there is ever a later, too much is at stake for him to falter now. The lives of countless people depend on his ability to stay calm, strategic, and unyielding, no matter how many unexpected twists the day throws at him. Taking a deep breath, he straightens in his chair, eyes scanning the room filled with agents and glowing monitors. Each heartbeat feels like a countdown, urging him to move faster, think sharper, and remain unbreakable. There will be time to feel tired later. Right now, there is work to be done, and he is determined to see it through. Dwayne sits in the chair, the control room buzzing with the low hum of shifting data and murmurs of his team at work. He rubs his temples, eyes narrowing as a calculated, almost defiant thought surfaces. It is time to turn Jesse loose. The finesse of subtlety has its place, but this isn't it. They need to be bold, loud even. Yet Dwayne's mind is made up on one condition: no killing. He will orchestrate a jailbreak, but the plan will be unconventional. It is not about breaking out an inmate. It is about staging chaos to extract Roshell from her undercover position and get her out safely. He leans forward, eyes locking onto the shifting code and surveillance feeds across the monitors. "Deuce," he says, his voice cold with the edge of resolve. "I need a strategy. We're going to stage a jailbreak. Not for an inmate, but to get one of ours out, and it needs to look convincing." The AI hums for a moment, processing the request. Deuce's synthetic voice fills the room, smooth and efficient. "Understood, Agent Williams. Analyzing options for maximum plausibility. Creating a strategy to simulate an external breach involving minimal collateral impact. Estimated response protocols and diversionary tactics being calculated." Dwayne's gaze drifts to Jesse, who stands at the back of the room, arms crossed and eyes flickering with the spark of anticipation. The room is electric, the stakes made clear by Dwayne's unspoken command. This is about more than just a mission. It is a statement, a declaration that they will move mountains for their own, and Dwayne is determined to lead them through it, no matter the odds. Deuce's voice rings out, calm but with a sense of urgency that grips the room. The team leans in, listening intently as the AI lays out the plan step by step. Deuce begins to outline operation, simulated breach strategy. The tension in the room shifts from doubt to focus, each agent aware this is a high-risk endeavor with a purpose rooted in loyalty and justice. Primary objective: extract operative Roshell Morgan from the Michigan Department of Corrections facility under the guise of a prison break. The following protocol outlines the actions and resources required. Diversion tactics: initiate an exterior disturbance at the southwest perimeter of the facility. The recommended diversion is a controlled explosion of a maintenance vehicle outside the secured area. This draws security forces and response teams away from the core facility toward the disturbance. Deploy remote-controlled smoke emitters to create confusion in the outer courtyard, reducing visibility and enhancing the believability of an internal breakout attempt. Entry team composition: field operatives, posing as rogue inmates and dressed in smuggled prison uniforms, infiltrate the facility during the disturbance. Operatives are skilled in close-quarters evasion tactics and equipped with non-lethal tools such as smoke grenades and electric pulse stunners. Jesse, known for his tactical prowess and quick thinking, leads the entry team, using his operational expertise to maintain control and execute with precision. Extraction pathway: coordinate with an internal ally posing as prison staff to secure access to Roshell's location. The ally provides the necessary clearance to bypass security checkpoints. Roshell's extraction occurs during a routine security shift change, minimizing the number of guards on patrol. Emergency pathways marked on the facility's blueprints are utilized for swift movement through the corridors. Communication: blackout. Deploy an electromagnetic pulse device to temporarily disable the facility's radio and surveillance feeds. This prevents the immediate relay of information to law enforcement and buys valuable minutes for the extraction. Max, stationed remotely, monitors the EMP's effectiveness and ensures communications are restored to pre-jailbreak status after the operation to reduce suspicion of external tampering. Exit strategy: secure a disguised transport vehicle, appearing as a food delivery or maintenance truck, stationed at the north gate for a swift escape. The vehicle contains medical supplies, communication equipment, and secure compartments for any immediate post-operation needs. Radio silence is maintained until the team clears a 5-mile radius. Roshell is transferred to a safe house within 30 minutes of extraction for debriefing and reassignment. Contingency measures: secondary operatives, equipped with drones armed with tranquilizer darts, position around the perimeter, ready to neutralize any unforeseen threats without lethal force. A decoy team stages a false pursuit in the opposite direction to draw attention from potential responders. Estimated success probability: 86%. Variables that may affect success include unexpected facility lockdowns or unidentified security measures. The likelihood of casualty-free execution is calculated at 92%, contingent on adherence to outlined protocols and rapid response to emerging threats. Deuce concludes the explanation, and the room falls into a weighted silence. Each detail paints a vivid picture of the operation's complexity and danger, but it also provides Dwayne with what he needs: a blueprint to move forward decisively and with calculated risk. Dwayne leans back slightly, letting out a breath as the weight of Deuce's plan settles over him. He scans the room, eyes hardening with determination. "I like those odds," he says, his voice steady but firm. "We're going to make this happen." With a quick nod to Max, already running simulations on his screens, Dwayne turns toward the intercom and presses the button. "Jesse, report to the control room." Moments later, Jesse enters, a confident smirk crossing his face as he senses the charged atmosphere. "What's up, boss?" he asks, scanning Dwayne and the surrounding monitors displaying blueprints and tactical overlays of the prison facility. Dwayne's expression is intense, eyes locking onto Jesse with clear purpose. "We're getting Roshell out, and we're doing it with the finesse of a staged jailbreak. You're leading the entry team," he states, letting the words hang in the air with all the seriousness they deserve. Jesse's smirk fades, replaced by a determined glint as he nods slowly. "I've been waiting for this kind of action. Just say the word, and we're in." Dwayne's gaze softens slightly. "Consider this your word. We're doing this to save her and protect the network. No mistakes, Jesse." Jesse's eyes meet Dwayne's, a silent promise passing between them. "No mistakes. Fine. But do I get to blow stuff up?" he quips, a spark of humor cutting through the tension. Dwayne, his tone resolute, replies, "Yes, but no collateral damage of people. Got it?" Jesse's grin spreads ear to ear as if hearing the best words ever spoken. Dwayne turns to Max, eyes sharp with anticipation. "Max, make sure we have drones equipped with tranquilizers on standby. I want them ready to deploy if things get out of hand." Max nods, already typing commands into his tablet. "Understood, Dwayne. I'll have them prepped and positioned within the hour." Aaron smirks as he begins walking away, throwing a glance over his shoulder. "We're usually trying to get out of jail, and here we are breaking in," he says with a chuckle, his laughter light but purposeful, cutting through the room's tension. A few smiles crack among the team, and the mood lifts, if only slightly. Even Dwayne feels a corner of his mouth twitch. For a moment, the weight of the mission eases, the room bracing itself for the unpredictable night ahead with just a touch more resolve. Dwayne steps into a quieter corner and dials Celeste. The line clicks, and her voice answers, calm but edged with worry. "Dwayne, what's going on?" "We've got boots on the ground to extract Roshell within the hour," he says, fatigue creeping into his voice. "Jesse is coordinating on site, and we've got drones ready if things go sideways." Celeste takes a steadying breath. "Good. Stay sharp and keep the team focused. We can't afford missteps tonight." "Understood. Keep your ears open for any backup intel," he replies. "I'm already on it," she assures him, a hint of warmth slipping into her tone. "Be safe, Dwayne." "Always," he says, ending the call and returning to the team. Dwayne walks back into the control room and stops next to Max. "Jesse runs point on this. I'll monitor everything." Max nods. "Understood." Dwayne claps his hands together, drawing everyone's attention. "All right, before we dive into this op, we have 2 undercover operatives left on our plate. We have the Walter Green case and the Terry McBain case. Deuce, update us on the Terry McBain case." Deuce's steady voice fills the room as the team braces for what comes next. The night is far from over. Case profile, Terry McBain. Location, Tallahassee, Florida. Date of incident, May 27, 2020. Subject McBain, a 38-year-old black transgender man, is involved in a fatal encounter with law enforcement following a series of preceding events. Earlier that day, McBain allegedly engages in an altercation that results in the fatal stabbing of a man identified as Malik Jamison. Deuce pauses, letting the information settle before continuing. Leading up to the incident, McBain reportedly posts a video online, expressing intentions of retribution against those involved in a prior altercation and signaling a willingness to confront law enforcement if necessary. The video indicates a state of distress, with McBain referencing recent threats and injuries. The control room remains silent as Deuce continues, laying out the details with meticulous accuracy. Tallahassee law enforcement, led by Officer Derek Lawson, responds to reports at the scene. Upon arrival, Officer Lawson encounters McBain, who, according to police accounts, allegedly raises a firearm in the officer's direction. Officer Lawson reacts by discharging his weapon, fatally wounding McBain. Dwayne's eyes flick to the screen as Deuce continues. Witness statements, however, present conflicting narratives. While law enforcement reports that McBain is armed, several witnesses contest this claim, suggesting that McBain may have been unarmed at the time of the confrontation. Deuce concludes with the aftermath of the case. The incident sparks significant community outrage and brings forth calls for transparency in the investigation, with numerous advocacy groups pressing for accountability. Ultimately, a Leon County grand jury reviews the incident and rules that Officer Lawson's actions are legally justified, leading to no charges against the officer involved. Dwayne absorbs the details, recognizing the echoes of injustice and the complexities surrounding McBain's story. This is yet another case marred by conflicting accounts, systemic scrutiny, and an individual whose life ends in violence. He leans forward, his eyes narrowing as he focuses on the details Deuce has just provided. Deuce, just to clarify, this is an LGBTQ+ case, correct? His tone carries both curiosity and gravity, acknowledging the broader implications and sensitivities surrounding the case. Deuce responds without hesitation. Correct, Agent Williams. Terry McBain identifies as a transgender man, making this incident significant within the LGBTQ+ community and further amplified by the complex social and legal dynamics associated with LGBTQ+ rights and protections. Dwayne nods slowly, processing the implications. The case is clearly layered, with dimensions that extend beyond standard profiling, demanding a more nuanced approach. He listens intently as Deuce provides the updates, the gears in his mind turning with each response. Leaning forward, he addresses Deuce with purpose. Deuce, I'm not familiar with all LGBTQ+ terminology, but I assume this case has been handled by someone in the network who understands it. Does the network have any agents who identify as transgender? Yes, Agent Williams. There are currently 28 agents within the network who identify as transgender, Deuce replies. Dwayne pauses, considering his next question carefully. Out of those, do any have the initials TM? Deuce's response is prompt. Affirmative. Terry Mathis identifies as a transgender man. Dwayne's eyes sharpen with renewed focus. If they identify as a man, am I supposed to say him or her? If they look like a woman, am I supposed to say she or he? This is confusing and I'm tired. Is Terry on assignment right now? Yes, Deuce confirms. Terry Mathis is currently undercover but maintains consistent contact with the network. He is stationed in Tallahassee, Florida. Dwayne's mind races, connecting the threads. He turns to Max. Max, how difficult would it be to reach him directly? I need to speak with him as soon as possible. Max rubs his chin thoughtfully. It's not too difficult from our end. Based on his protocols, Terry calls a specific number to report updates daily. We could intercept his next call, leave a voicemail directing him to contact you, or route that number directly to your cell. Dwayne nods, a decision forming. Have his next check-in connect straight to the terminal. I want to speak with him myself. Max taps a few keys, locking in the request. Understood. Based on his check-in schedule, he should be calling in tomorrow at precisely 9:09 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Dwayne absorbs the information, mentally preparing for what he hopes will be a crucial conversation. Turning back to Max, he adds, pull up all of the updates Terry has sent through Deuce. I want to go through them one by one to see if there's any pattern or detail we might have missed. Max nods. Got it, Dwayne. I'll compile them in chronological order and send them to the main screen. Within moments, a list of Terry's updates appears on the large monitor in the control room. Each entry details location reports, notes on various interactions, and his observations on the ground. As Dwayne reads through the updates, he notes the meticulous detail in each report, a clear testament to Terry's discipline and dedication to his cover. Dwayne scans each report carefully, analyzing not only the content but the timing and structure. Patterns begin to emerge in how Terry engages with certain contacts, his descriptions of the Tallahassee environment, and the names that come up repeatedly in his reports. A few places and people are mentioned with subtle frequency, enough to raise a flag. After reviewing the updates, Dwayne narrows his eyes in thought. Max, cross-reference these locations and names with any recent police incidents or local news in Tallahassee. I need to know if any patterns align with other potential targets. Max immediately gets to work, tapping into Deuce and public databases to gather additional context. As they wait, Dwayne keeps his gaze on the screen, piecing together the puzzle that Terry's reports quietly construct. It looks like Terry is indeed keeping tabs on Officer Derek Lawson, Dwayne remarks, turning to Deuce. Where is Officer Lawson right now? Deuce's synthetic voice responds promptly. Officer Derek Lawson is currently assigned to the Tallahassee Police Department. As of the latest available data, he is on active duty, with his patrol routes primarily covering the downtown and midtown areas of Tallahassee. His recent activities include routine patrols and community engagement assignments. Dwayne leans forward, eyes intent on the screen. Deuce, based on Terry's reports, what's his current location? Deuce responds swiftly. Operative Terry Mathis's last reported location is near Cascades Park in Tallahassee, Florida. According to his most recent update, he is monitoring Officer Lawson's patrol in that vicinity. He has been maintaining a low profile, blending in with the local population to avoid detection. Dwayne nods, absorbing the information. So he's staying close to Lawson in the field. Good, he's thorough. He turns to Max, his voice firm. Now that we know Terry is watching him, I want eyes on Terry too. Get agents in the area, but keep them discreet. Close enough to step in if needed, but far enough not to tip anyone off. Max nods, already typing commands. Understood. We have agents within range who can be on site in less than an hour. I'll instruct them to maintain distance and remain inconspicuous. Dwayne exhales, his mind racing through the possible outcomes. Good. I'm hoping this one ends with a peaceful conversation. But if anything shifts, I want us prepared to intervene without escalating. The room buzzes with quiet focus as Max coordinates logistics, and Dwayne keeps his gaze on the unfolding operation, determined to bring this to a close without anyone getting hurt. Dwayne, the extraction team is in position and ready for your signal at the prison. They're stationed at each critical access point and fully briefed. Just say the word. Dwayne nods tightly, his jaw set with determination. Perfect, Max. Let them know to hold steady and await my go. I want this clean. No unnecessary risks. Max's fingers fly over the keyboard as he relays the orders to the team. Copy that. They're ready for your signal. Standing by, Max confirms, his tone crisp and professional. Dwayne watches the monitors intently, assessing the final setup. The weight of the operation hangs heavy in the air, but he remains calm, his mind carefully considering every detail. Let's bring her out safe and keep it quiet. We execute on my count. Taking a deep breath, Dwayne steadies himself and looks over the team's locations displayed on the screens. The extraction plan is flawless. Each operative is in position, prepared and waiting. He speaks into the comms, his voice firm and unwavering. Team, we're going on my mark. Be precise, be quick, and remember, we're in and out, no loose ends. A tense silence follows, the air in the control room thick with anticipation. Then, with calm finality, Dwayne says, 3, 2, 1, execute. On his mark, the team moves. Every agent slips into action like clockwork. Monitors light up with live feeds as they breach key points, maneuvering through the facility with practiced efficiency. Dwayne's eyes never leave the screens, tracking every movement with laser focus, ready to adjust plans at a moment's notice if needed. A typical late February day in Dearborn Heights, Michigan, finds the city gripped in winter's icy hold. Temperatures hover in the mid-20s to low 30s, with a biting wind that cuts through even the thickest winter coats. Snow from recent storms lines the streets, where salt stains and patches of ice mark the sidewalks. Residents, accustomed to the long Midwest winters, go about their day bundled in layers, their breath visible as they walk to work or run errands. Snowplows and salt trucks are common sights, making their rounds to keep roads clear and safe. Dearborn Heights carries a quiet resilience in winter. Community hubs and small local businesses are nestled between suburban homes, giving the city a sense of warmth despite the chill. Overcast skies cast a muted gray light, while bare, skeletal trees stretch toward the horizon. In neighborhood parks, only the bravest children play, their laughter echoing in the crisp air, while most residents remain indoors, escaping the cold. People adapt quickly, moving with purpose, hands in pockets or gloved, clutching steaming cups of coffee from nearby cafes as they savor any warmth they can find. The city itself is a blend of suburban residential neighborhoods and modest commercial areas, blanketed by a layer of winter stillness. Single-family homes and two-story buildings line quiet streets, their driveways edged with patches of melting snow, icicles dangling from rooftops. Downtown, a mix of small offices, family-owned diners, and local businesses thrives. Frosted storefront windows add a sense of coziness as people duck inside to escape the cold. The correctional facility on the outskirts of Dearborn Heights is a stark contrast to the city's subdued charm. Surrounded by chain-link fencing topped with razor wire, the facility looms as an imposing structure against the pale, overcast sky. Snow piles against the fence and narrow, trodden paths snake around the building's perimeter. Guards in thick winter jackets patrol routinely, their breath visible in the frigid air. Inside, fluorescent lighting casts a harsh, sterile glow across tiled floors and cinder-block walls. At the southwest perimeter of the facility, a seemingly abandoned maintenance vehicle sits parked, its frost-coated windows reflecting the steel-gray sky. This unassuming corner, often overlooked, now serves as the diversion point. At the precise moment, a controlled explosion shatters the silence with a deep, rumbling boom. Flames erupt under the hood, sending a plume of black smoke spiraling into the sky. Alarms wail, the ground trembles, and chaos begins to unfold. Guards and response teams rush toward the disturbance, their radios crackling with orders. Smoke emitters activate, hissing as thick, gray clouds engulf the area, dropping visibility to near zero. Lights from guard towers cut through the haze in narrow beams, further disorienting the response team. The scene descends into controlled chaos, flames crackling, smoke swirling, and figures moving like shadows through the fog. Amid this orchestrated chaos, Jesse leads his team into action. Disguised in smuggled prison uniforms, they slip through a rarely used maintenance entry, masked by the smoke. Every movement is precise, every step calculated. Jesse moves with the confidence of a seasoned leader, his sharp eyes scanning for any potential threats. The team navigates the dimly lit corridors, their non-lethal tools, smoke grenades and electric pulse stunners, at the ready. Each operative knows their role, and the mission's high stakes drive them forward. The weight of the operation is palpable, but Jesse's presence steadies the team. The diversion is working perfectly, keeping the facility's focus locked on the southwest perimeter while the extraction team advances toward their target. Dwayne watches every moment unfold on the monitors, his laser focus unwavering. The operation is in motion, and there is no turning back. Their goal is clear: Roshell, an undercover agent currently stationed in the facility as a correctional officer. Assigned to the third shift as part of her mission, Roshell has spent months blending in, gaining trust, and staying unnoticed. Tonight, she is completely unaware that the extraction team has come for her. To any observer, this operation looks like a classic prison break, but with one major twist. Their target isn't an inmate, but one of their own. The team moves toward the cell block area, carefully following the blueprints to avoid active guard zones. With the shift change underway, the halls are nearly empty. They slip through checkpoints using a pass card from their internal ally, a guard connected to the network who stands by to assist. The dim overhead lights cast a muted glow, adding to the tension as they approach the corridor leading to Roshell's section. Roshell is at her post, fully absorbed in her duties and completely unaware of the extraction team's progress. Mentally prepared for nearly anything, she has no reason to suspect a full-scale prison break with herself as the target. The operation will come as a complete shock. The team finds her as she finishes her nightly rounds, clipboard in hand, walking down a sterile hallway lined with fluorescent lights. Jesse steps forward, signaling her with a look of urgent familiarity. Roshell glances at them warily, her expression flickering between confusion and professionalism. She says nothing, instinctively maintaining her cover. Jesse moves to her side, his voice low and steady. "Roshell," he murmurs, "you're coming with us, no time to explain." Her eyes widen in disbelief, darting across the team. "What? Who's the target?" she whispers, scanning for clues, still assuming they're here to extract an inmate. "You are," Jesse replies firmly. "Mission's over. Let's go." Shock flashes in her eyes, quickly replaced by silent understanding. Though blindsided, Roshell knows better than to resist. Years of training have taught her to follow the mission, even when it takes an unexpected turn. She nods, straightens her posture, and blends into their formation as they guide her through the facility's labyrinth of corridors. The team reaches the extraction point just as the security response is fully diverted to the southwest perimeter. At the north gate, the disguised transport vehicle, a maintenance truck indistinguishable from others in the area, waits. Jesse signals the team, and Roshell climbs in, still processing the abrupt end of her assignment. She glances back at the facility, her expression a mixture of relief and unfinished business, as the vehicle fades into the early morning darkness. In the control room, Dwayne's eyes dart between monitors. Each screen captures a different angle of the operation: smoky courtyards, darkened corridors, and his operatives maneuvering toward the extraction point. His gaze sharpens as he monitors the electromagnetic pulse device, the next critical phase of the plan. "Max," Dwayne orders, his voice steady, "engage blackout." Max initiates the EMP with precision. Instantly, the prison's surveillance systems flicker out. Security cameras freeze mid-frame, radios fall silent, and the control room monitors crackle with static. The facility is plunged into a communications void, creating a crucial window for the extraction team. Dwayne exhales, a brief but measured moment of relief as the blackout takes hold. On one monitor, however, a hardwired feed immune to the EMP shows two guards returning from a routine patrol. They're heading directly toward Jesse's extraction route. "Max," Dwayne's voice cuts through the room, sharp and commanding. "We've got two guards in Corridor 12, right in Jesse's path. Redirect them now." Max's fingers fly over the keyboard, accessing the facility's auxiliary systems. He triggers an environmental alarm by adjusting the temperature in a nearby section. The sudden alert startles the guards, who exchange confused glances before heading off to investigate. Jesse's team continues forward, unseen. Jesse leads the team through the dim, silent corridors, Roshell moving with them seamlessly. Though still uncertain, she follows without hesitation. The extraction pathway is meticulously mapped out, bypassing checkpoints and locked gates. Each step is timed perfectly to avoid roving guards now distracted by strategically placed diversions. As the team nears the exit, Jesse plants small, non-lethal explosive charges in maintenance closets and unused hallways. These devices are set to release bursts of smoke and sound, simulating the chaos of a prison riot. Moments later, alarms blare across the facility, drawing security forces to the southeast corner and leaving the north gate clear. Outside, the transport vehicle, a van disguised with the logo of a local food delivery company, waits. Jesse signals the team to move, and one by one they climb into the van. Roshell hesitates for a brief second, glancing back at the facility. Then, with a final nod, she steps inside, the doors closing behind her. Jesse triggers the final diversion. A controlled explosion ignites another maintenance vehicle near the southwest perimeter, sending flames and smoke skyward. Inside the prison, guards scramble to respond to the new chaos. While outside, the van merges with the sparse early morning traffic. Jesse taps the van's interior wall, signaling the driver to maintain a steady, inconspicuous pace. Back in the control room, Dwayne watches the GPS coordinates of the transport vehicle inch further from the prison. His shoulders relax slightly as he observes the operation's success. "Good work, Max," he says, his tone calm but relieved. Turning to the room, he adds, "Let's keep monitoring until they're clear. I want no surprises." The extraction team has completed their mission, and the van continues its quiet journey through the dark streets, carrying Roshell to safety. As the first light of dawn breaks over Dearborn Heights, the operation concludes, another successful step in their intricate web of missions. Phase 6 executed flawlessly, Max reports, his voice calm but tinged with satisfaction. The team allows themselves a brief moment of accomplishment, knowing they've pulled off a perfectly timed extraction. Dwayne, still focused, delivers his final command over the comms. "Well done. Once you reach the safe zone, we'll regroup and debrief." The van rolls steadily toward the horizon, leaving the prison and any trace of their operation behind. Inside, Roshell begins to piece together what has happened. Slowly, the realization dawns. This isn't a routine transfer. She's been extracted. Jesse catches her gaze, offering a reassuring nod. "Welcome back," he says quietly, his tone steady and grounding, just as the prison's security systems flicker back to life, oblivious to the breach. Dwayne's voice cuts through the comms, calm yet expectant. Status report. Everything on target? Max checks the GPS pings on the transport vehicle, confirming it has moved beyond the facility's perimeter. His eyes flick to the monitors showing the prison returning to normalcy. Guards respond to smoke and alarms, unaware of the true nature of what just occurred. "We're clear," Max replies, his voice carrying a note of restrained excitement. Transport vehicle is 5 miles out, blending in with traffic as planned. All distractions are still in effect and Rochelle's secure with the team. Another operative confirms, EMP is deactivated, and all facility systems are back online, no traces of interference. Jesse's voice comes over the line, steady but laced with adrenaline. "We're on the move, no issues here. Rochelle's safe and starting to get the picture." Dwayne exhales, relief evident in the small pause before his next instruction. "Good work, everyone. Maintain steady speed and don't break protocol until you're in the safe zone. Full debrief once you've arrived." For a beat, the control room falls silent, the weight of the successful mission settling over the team. Only the quiet hum of monitors breaks the stillness as each operative processes the flawless execution of a high-stakes operation. Dwayne nods, a sense of pride and purpose coursing through him. "All right, everyone, reset. We've got more work ahead." Before anyone moves, Max speaks up, his tone holding a hint of surprise. "One more thing. The footage from the Raynor hostage situation is making rounds online. Jonas is being hailed as a hero. It's everywhere, going viral by the hour." Dwayne's eyes sharpen as he considers the ripple effect. This isn't just a piece of viral content, it's an opportunity. His mind shifts to strategy, seeing beyond the immediate impact. "Deuce," he says, his tone thoughtful but firm. "Help that video go a little faster. Make sure it's seen by everyone, everywhere." The command sends a buzz of anticipation through the room. Operatives glance at each other, sensing the potential in Dwayne's vision. Deuce processes the request, amplifying the video's reach across multiple platforms, ensuring it becomes impossible to ignore. Dwayne folds his arms, his gaze thoughtful but resolute. "I have a plan," he says softly, a spark of determination lighting his expression. The video isn't just a moment of recognition for Jonas, it's the beginning of something bigger. This could shift public perception, drawing attention to their cause and expanding their influence. With this momentum, Dwayne sees the foundation of a broader strategy. The surge of public support from Jonas's heroism could become the cornerstone of their next move.